and gentlemen, to another episode of the Deep Impact Podcast. Uh, it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. We've been taking some time off, trying to get some shit figured out. But that still has not changed. That I am your host, Bo Walker, and right now I am only joined by one member of the group, Mr. Jason Cephas. Mr. Piazza is out doing some adulting things, and Mark decided to be a loser and go watch some Chinese cello player. Like, can we just talk about that for a second? Like, of all the things that Mark could have said, oh hey, I'm going to a bar. I'm gonna go watch Thursday night football. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go smoke a cigar on the roof of some building. All right, that's fine, cool. Out of respect, Chinese cello player, Mark. Come on, listen. His name is a toy. All right. Now listen. Can the guy play cello better than I can? Absolutely. I'm not denying that. You hand me a cello, and I'm gonna look at it like this is a big guitar. All right. Like, but
And for
yep.
reference, the musician that Mark is seeing and that Bo just completely carved is Yo-Yo Ma.
No idea who that is.
You carved right into him, man.
I have zero idea who Yo-Yo Ma is.
Neither do I, but hey.
It is what it is. Um,
Mark's
but
happy.
yeah,
Matters
I guess.
for now.
What about him making us happy?
Well,
It's fine. It's whatever. Oh my God. Listen, we're talking tonight is all about the games. All right, it's game night at the Deep Impact Podcast. And speaking of games, it's a Thursday night football game. I got it on right here. It is the Cincinnati Bengals against the Miami Dolphins, and it is a whiteout in Cincinnati. And when I say whiteout, it is a beautiful whiteout. All the fans are in white. All right. The Bengals are breaking out their icy white uniforms with the white helmets that Jason hates. All right. And and I don't know if you saw this, Jason. They painted the field. They changed the logo.
yeah.
They changed the
Yes.
end zones. It is beautiful. I know you think it makes them look like zebras, but guess what? Guess what? White tigers, Jason. They're a real thing.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know they're a real thing, but so is a zebra. So
Now here's the thing. I hate to do this to them, but Miami's hot right now. Oh, okay. Miami's hot right now. I think Miami's gonna beat the Bengals tonight. The way Tua's been playing lately, Joe Burrow, his offensive line cannot stop anything. You know, it's
yeah.
it is what it is. Talking about the games, Jason.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, one of the best series on television history came to a close.
It did.
Very controversial ending. Not a lot of people were fans of the ending.
It did.
All right.
Starbucks
That was
all.
what?
Starbucks cup and all.
Starbucks Cup and all. That show was Game of Thrones. All right. Now, it just so happens that in the year 2022, nobody is original anymore. No one can come up with another idea for a TV show or a movie. So we just have to reboot everything and redo it. So they added on to the story of Game of Thrones. It is called House of the Dragon. We are 6 episodes in, and in my opinion, it is not as good as Game of Thrones. I know everyone's saying that it is a fantastic show, and don't get me wrong, it has some pretty cool scenes. Like Mark and Ramsey aren't here, so I'm not going to spoil anything. Spoiler alerts if you guys haven't watched any, get caught up. Spoiler alerts ahead. So far, to me, the best part of the show was the knight beating the dude's face in at the wedding. That was it. That was the best part of the series. I mean, yeah, we get to see more dragons. You see dragons right off the bat. It's called House of the Dragon. Of course, we're gonna see dragons. It's Game of Thrones. You had like 20 different families that you had to keep track of. This guy's fucking this woman. Like families are fighting like crazy. Kids are getting pushed out of tower windows in the second episode of the series. Like it was amazing. What happened in the first episode of this? Nothing. You see a king and his wife die. Like that's it. That's
So,
it.
all right. So here's this. So I've not seen the show. I've heard very good things about it. Everything that I have heard is good. My thing, and I told Mark this when the show started, be careful of the Star Wars effect. And what I
Mm-hmm.
mean with that is with Star Wars right now,
It's everywhere.
here's the
Oh,
thing. So with Star Wars, if you were like me, you did not like the sequel trilogy, episode
oh,
7, 8, 9. You did not like them. And I've seen a lot of Star Wars fans talk about this. I've talked with several Star Wars fans about this. And there's a thing that we call the Star Wars effect, where when a new show comes out after something that was very disappointing, it kind of takes you out of that show a little bit because you know where the show is going to go eventually.
mm-hmm.
Now, you can avoid this by just simply skipping straight over it. But obviously, with House of Dragon not doing that and being a prequel show,
Yep.
are you? Is that what you don't like about it, or do you just
No,
not?
I just no. So I actually like the fact that it's a prequel to this because in Game of Thrones they're talking about there was all these former leaders or like all these Targaryens were the rulers for so long, and you're getting to see how they ruled. Like I mean, granted we've only had the one so far, but like you're getting to see all of this, and like this is gonna sound weird, but like I like history, so I mean I feel like that's like I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah,
But like going back to the lore of Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones starts with um Robert Baratheon as the king of Westeros.
mhm.
Okay. So he was the first king that wasn't a Targaryen for like thousands of years. Okay. So Game of Thrones actually has it set up so we're seeing the people before Game of Thrones. We're seeing Viserys. We're going to see Aegon. We're going to see all these other people. Hopefully, they get it up to the Mad King, who, and then if they get it up to that, then that can lead into another series, which they've already talked about, which is Robert's Rebellion, which is what caused Robert to take over like all the war and the fighting and stuff like that. But Game of Thrones has actually already announced a new series to take place after the original Game of Thrones series, and that is Snow,
Yeah.
which is following the personally the best character in the entire series, Kit Harington's Jon Snow, the one true rightful king of Westeros. Um, just saying, he should be king, not Bran. Get up and walk to the throne, you little bitch. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, you can't because he got pushed out a window in the first episode. He was the kid that got pushed out the window in the first episode, by the way. Like, who had a better story arc than Bran? Literally every single other character. The whore that was in the brothel back in King's Landing, she's got a better story than Bran. All right, everybody had a better story than Bran.
Like the numbers don't lie. I mean, this is
No,
from Variety. So far, each episode is pulling around 29 million viewers,
yeah, which it's
and
incredible.
the numbers just keep going up. And
Yeah,
and that was me being a die-hard Star Wars fan. Like
yeah.
my entire life is hockey and Star Wars, and I love it. He's here.
Oh my God, it's a great day, Mr.
Um,
Piazza.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry. I only have like 10 minutes, but I wanted to jump in. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Have you?
What's going on? Yeah, talk about it.
So
Yeah,
as you
what
guys
is
can see,
inform me, please.
we're now joined by James Piazza via satellite cell phone. Uh, via his car. But yeah, James, Mark is at a cello concert with the Wheeling Symphony, listening to some guy whose name is a kid's toy.
Was that it? Was that your whole bit?
No, I just like I said that Mark could have been smoking a cigar on a rooftop, had to go to a bar to watch Thursday night football, but no, he's going to watch a Chinese cello player named after a child's toy. Uh
What a guy.
Yeah, but yeah, no, James, we were talking about the Game of Thrones, the new series, and how it's going to get oversaturated. There's going to have HBO is going to have so many Game of Thrones shows out.
Yeah, but isn't that a good thing? As someone who's never seen seen Bean's character, yes, I know Sean Bean. When he dies, like in the series, in literally season one, is it the idea though, if it's a good show, to just keep making more of it?
Wait, who died in season one?
What's his name? The Ned Stark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
mean,
got dropped off, I stopped watching.
no, you're good.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. No, I mean, I made spoiler alerts for the new season of House of the Dragon or the new series, and it's only 5 episodes in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just like expanded universe stuff. Whether I like it, like the actual show or not, I think that's really
No, and that's the thing. I do too. Like, I like the expanded universe as well, but the show, like, I was able to get into Game of Thrones because there were so many different storylines going on. There were so many different families that you had to keep track of. Like I said to James or Jason earlier, this guy's sleeping with this guy's daughter, kids are getting pushed out of balconies in the first episode. Like it had so much more. Like House of the Dragon is more like, oh, here's diplomatic stuff, There's, I mean, granted, there's more dragons, but I mean, the only thing that's really happened that was exciting was a guy got his face bashed in at a wedding, and I mean, there's an uncle trying to sleep with his niece, but I mean, we had incest in the first series of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like, isn't that a thing that you think the show will grow into? Because I mean, Game of Thrones became popularized in a large part due to its, again, storylines and its Bible.
Yeah, and I do think that give it a couple more episodes, maybe a season, and I think it will become better. But like right now, I mean, we're only 5 episodes in, and
How
as
many episodes of the season?
I'm not sure how many they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna do 9 or 10 like Game of Thrones. Um, they are set. They said they're set for 3 to 4 seasons right now. They have enough script for 3 to 4 seasons already.
Script, okay. I was gonna say, how do you get approved for 3 to 4 seasons before you even release a show?
Dude, after the first episode, they got approved for a second season.
Wow. The market's still clearly there, no matter how bad.
Oh yeah. Well, they've already greenlit a new series for about Jon Snow for after the original Game of Thrones series.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
You
Yeah,
also
which-
got to think, like, in the sense of them greenlighting all these different shows and all of them coming out, like they're not going to be out for a while, right? Like,
Yeah, the new series.
Like-
Yeah, I mean, we might have, months or potentially even a year in between seasons.
streaming companies want you to keep your subscription as long as possible. So in Star Wars case, that's why pretty much every show now has been delayed. Kenobi was delayed and Andor was delayed. So they want to try to squeeze all the money out of you that they can, and as long as you keep your subscription to them, they're happy campers.
And HBO is going to do the same thing. As soon as this season ends, it's going to be a couple months, maybe even a year until Snow comes out. And then after that, they'll have season 2 of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're going to all, because they're not going to have them come out at the same time. They're going to have them alternate.
Yeah.
You know?
And especially like in House of Dragons case, like we talked about the numbers going in. I mean, 29 million of an episode is incredibly high.
Significant.
Like that's insane. And you
And
look at
I
other
understand it's not.
shows. You look at other shows like Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings show.
Mhm.
That is not doing good.
No.
And
Amazon advertised the shit out of that.
mm-hmm.
Every single package that they sent out either had the tape or the box was the Rings of Power.
And it fell hard.
Yes.
Very
I
hard.
mean, is it just not that good of a show, or is there just too much competition for other stuff?
I've just heard from Lord of the Rings fans that it's just not a good Lord of the Rings show.
That's very upsetting.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't, like I said, I've not seen that show, so but all I know is that it has bombed so far. And I mean, and you look at in Disney Plus's case, you have all these different shows going on at once. You have Star Wars shows going on. You've got Marvel going on. Andor and She-Hulk were going back and forth. I think She-Hulk might have ended now, and that show flopped really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called. Come on, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was not good. But yeah, so I think it's just streaming companies are going to want you to keep your subscription as long as possible. So I think it's a good thing, but it's also, there also comes a time where you kind of want a little bit of a breather. Like it's great that you're getting all these different shows. But if they all come at once, you feel kind of,
now
phobic, and you just want to kind of relax a little bit. Like with Star Wars, there was only like a couple month gap between Kenobi and Andor.
Yeah,
like it was forever, and then it was just Mandalorian, and then it was like 2 years, and then the Clone Wars final season came out, and now they're just totally saturating the market with Star Wars, which is awesome because I love Star Wars and I don't give a shit about other IPs. But I can understand where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm kind of I'm at an iffy place with Star Wars right now. Like obviously I'll love it till I die, but I'm just kind of Disney Star Wars at least. I'm almost at my breaking point with that because it's
sorry, love you, gents. I gotta leave.
You're good, buddy.
Okay. All right, see you. Bye. Bye. Love you.
Now, Jason.
Yes.
Have you watched any of? Now, I know we're getting off from the games, but have you watched any Netflix series lately? We're talking about the streaming services here.
No.
I will give you one that you should go watch. First off, Dahmer. I've watched the first episode of it.
Mark's watching that. He's almost done with it, I think.
Very good so far from what I've seen.
I've heard.
The second one is a show that Maddie and I watched. It is kind of like a suspense thriller, kind of, I don't want to say kind of horror film thing, but it is called Devil in Ohio.
I heard about that one too.
I was skeptical. It was good. It was good.
I've heard that that's good too. I don't know. Right now, so the way I kind of work with like streaming shows is if there's a Star Wars show that's streaming currently, I'm all in on that because, like I said, Star Wars. That's my show. That's my move. Those are my movies. 1 through 6 are ingrained in my well-being for the rest of my life, and that's how I want it to be.
Yeah, but it's once Star Wars is over, go give it a shot. It's pretty good.
I will.
But no, that's like, I mean, when I don't know if I've been back to carrying mail since the last episode of this podcast. But I am no longer doing management anymore for the post office. I am back to carrying 5 days a week, not 6. No Sundays. Back to 5. Tyreek Hill. Okay, sorry. Uh, for anybody that cares, Bengals are up 7-0. But no, I'm back to carrying 5 days a week, getting my 12 miles a day in. I've lost some weight, thank God. I was putting on a little beer gut. But no, I listen to podcasts and audiobooks and stuff while I'm out walking, And the one that I have been I've actually am going to start the what's it called? The House of the Dragon companion podcast
Mm.
that goes along with the series. So they go in depth and they break down certain things that happen. So it's going to be interesting. It might make me like the series more. I don't know if it
It
will.
might. I mean, hey, like I know, for me, like I went and listened to, because I don't read. I cannot read a book to save my life.
Dude, listen, I have
I
got the best series of books that I have read in the past couple of months slash years has been on audiobook, and I've listened to them while I've been driving to work, while I'm
Yeah,
walking,
yeah.
all this stuff.
Like, so in my case, like I said, I cannot just sit and read. I can't do
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
But I listen to the novelizations of episodes 1 through 6 for Star Wars, and the extra little stuff that's in there
Yeah.
really helps build.
See, I never thought about that.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Never
that
thought
I
about
that might help you a little bit.
I was gonna say I need to see if those are on audiobook. I might have to check those out
I
on
think,
Audible. I was gonna say I use Audible,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I've been listening
Pretty
the
sure they
Dan
are.
the
If
the
there's not,
Dan
there's other ones on there that are
yeah,
fantastic.
Dan Brown, the author of Angels and Demons, the Da Vinci Code, um, those five, the Robert Langdon series, hands down my second favorite book series that I've ever read slash listened to in my life. They're fantastic. Two of them have been turned, well, three of them have been turned into movies. Two of them have been turned into movies that I will watch again. Um, the one was, and don't get me wrong, Tom Hanks is up there with some of the best actors to ever grace our screens. That movie was hot garbage.
Well, did you? So I saw a thing about Tom Hanks today, and he literally said, like on the record,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
he's
yeah.
only been in 4 good movies, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code, Forrest Gump. I
Like,
mean, he was freaking Woody for Christ's sake.
I was like, holy crap! I'm like, I mean, it's good that
The Toy Story, the Polar Express, Castaway. Come on, listen. Can we just have a Tom Hanks movie draft?
we could,
an an ode to Tom Hanks.
we totally could.
Oh my God.
I'm down.
But no, like, yeah, I've actually I downloaded another Dan Brown book that I've started to listen to. It's not in the same series. This was actually his second book that he ever written. I'm only on like chapter 20, I think. So we'll see how it goes. But I mean, like these books are like 18, 19 hours long.
Yeah,
I mean, it takes me 2, 3 days to listen to them, but it's awesome. But okay, we're getting away from the game theme here,
yeah.
Jason.
I was literally just about to. Yeah.
uh, so how are you gonna bring us back on topic? Because I know how I was gonna do it.
We're gonna shift from Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, whatever, um, and we're gonna shift to video games for a little bit, because for my birthday, my parents are the best, and they got me a PlayStation 5, and I was so ridiculously hard to find one. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. I've actually I'm not a PlayStation guy. I'm an Xbox through and through. So, the two iterations of the Xbox, the newest Xbox, Series S, Series X. I've been able to find the Series S. I found a Series X. I was going to buy it, but Maddie said to wait. I don't know if she meant wait until this Friday when I get paid because it's $500.
Well, that's cheap compared to mine.
Walmart.
That's where I got mine.
Yeah.
That was the only place that had them.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only place that had PlayStations.
Yep.
It's ridiculous how hard it was to find. Anyway.
Yeah, continue. Yeah.
So I got everything. I got everything transferred from my 4 over to my 5. But I bought the new NBA game.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, I do every other year. I typically buy it just because 2K is just so far above EA and all that. The main reason why I bought it, so I mainly only play sports games. Like I play Star Wars Battlefront and all that, but the majority of the time it's a sports game. And my bread and butter for those is the GM mode, franchise mode, whatever you want to call it. And in NBA's case, for 2K23, they added a new mode called Eras. And what it is it's three separate eras. There's the Bird versus Magic era, the Jordan era, the Kobe era, and obviously into modern day. Let me tell you, this thing is insane. So you can start out in either Bird versus Magic or Jordan or Kobe, whatever. The graphics. So if you start out in the Jordan era or the Bird versus Magic era, they put a filter
Yep.
the game to make it look old and like it's from the 80s or the 90s. The graphics are all, are the old, 80s, 90s graphics. And it's literally just the teams and the score clock, and that's it. There's no, there's no other fancy graphic with it or whatever.
It's pixelated. Yeah.
Yes. Those change throughout the decades or throughout the eras. Once you get to the Kobe era, the filter gets taken away and it looks a little bit better. The score clock or the graphics package and all that is the ESPN one, and rosters are down to a T. Draft classes are down to a T, minus a couple because they couldn't get the licensing for specific guys, but the majority of the guys are there, and you can tank and draft Michael Jordan, and you can be whatever team you want. And so
you can change history.
You can, yes. Not only does it do all that, as you go along through the years, it updates historical things. So like a year or two into it, the San Diego Clippers move from San Diego to Los Angeles. In a couple years in, the Kansas City Kings move to Sacramento. But here's the cool thing, you can choose to veto those. So if you want San Diego to stay in San Diego, they stay in San Diego.
So technically, you could keep the Sacramento Kings in Kansas City, tank, and draft Michael Jordan.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Are you telling me right now?
And so what I do every year with NBA is I make the Ohio State Buckeyes, because you can, just because of how they have it set up for creating a team. You can upload an image. You can have the actual logos. You can have the actual fonts for jerseys. You can have the actual striping for jerseys. You can have so many things. So every year I make the Ohio State Buckeyes. And I tried tanking for Michael Jordan, didn't work out. I missed him by one freaking pick, and I was so irritated about it.
Oh, so who did you end up getting in that draft?
Oh God, I don't even remember now.
Now, do the draft picks stay the same? Like, is Michael Jordan still going to be the number one pick?
Sometimes, yes. Jordan actually wasn't the first pick in this draft.
Huh.
I
Was he
forget
the first pick? Was he the first pick in
I don't
his
think so.
draft?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't.
I should know this.
And going back to like all the graphics and stuff, the ads that are shown throughout the arena. One of them is for example, Mountain Dew is a sponsor that goes around the arena during games. It's the logo from the 1980s. That's how. Okay, so that's where he went, and that's where he went in my game was 3.
Yeah. Akeem Olajuwon went first.
He went first. Yes.
Jordan went third. Barkley. I didn't realize Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan were drafted in the same draft class.
Yes. So, for example, Charles Barkley, 2K does not have his licensing, so Charles Barkley is not in the game. So they put in a computer generated random person to fill in his spot. So, yeah, it's so cool and it's so in depth, and you can literally change so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can draft Kobe Bryant and not have him be a part of the Lakers. You can it is so, and you, like I said, you start from 1983
Yep.
and you play through, like I said, the Bird and Magic era. You shift into the 90s and you go into the Michael Jordan era, early 2000s with Kobe, and then you go straight into current day.
Have you ever watched they did a documentary about Bird and Johnson where they were forced to shoot a commercial together for Converse?
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yep.
And they were like, oh, you're not that bad of a human being. Like or was it Larry Bird's mom made lunch for him and Magic Johnson. They talked, they played basketball, like all this stuff. And then they get back on the basketball court and Magic came up to him and he goes, get the fuck away from me. He goes, I like you off the court. He goes, on the court? No, I hate you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like there's so many, like I said, everything from the ads. The ads are from the 80s, from the 90s,
That's cool.
early 2000s. The courts change. So whenever a team upgrades their court.
So this is 2K23?
Yes.
Okay.
NBA 2K23.
I might have to download it.
It is one of the coolest things in a sports video game. 2K is so far above anybody else when it comes to their franchise mode, GM mode, whatever you want to call it. And NHL just released today what their new feature for that is, obviously to go along with cross-platform, which they're adding for 23.
Yeah.
They announced today that you can have a custom franchise mode where you can go in and customize everything. You can customize how many teams you want. So if you want to go back and you want to have an original 6 franchise mode, you can do that. You can adjust how many points your team gets for wins, losses, playoff rankings. You can change the playoff bracket. You can have like a play-in tournament, like the bubble in 2020 for the pandemic season.
Yeah.
So NHL is right there, but NBA is just so far above everybody. I've played Madden's and I can accept it for what it is. I'm just not that big of an NFL fan.
As I sit here and watch NFL.
MLB hasn't changed in 10 years, their franchise mode. desperately needs an overhaul.
Well, in the show it kind of did.
Yeah, kind of, but it didn't change.
I haven't played that game in forever. I should play that game.
It didn't change a whole lot like these updates are. I think it is so cool how hands-on you are. You can go in 2K, you can go back and check a player's injury history. That's how in-depth those games are.
So they have all the stats.
Yes, they have
Wow.
everything. Everything, and it's just I go back and I look at NHL, and I've played those games my entire life. I have every EA NHL game going back to 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And there are games that came out in the early 2000s that are better than what we have now. And I look at 2K and how far advanced they are. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, it is mind blowing.
Yep.
The amount of stuff that you can do, the creativity, like creating your teams. Like I said, you can go in and you can create, you can upload, say you wanted to make West Liberty basketball. You can pull, there you go. I didn't even plan for that. You can pull West Lib's logo off of Google, upload it to 2K, and you can make West Liberty basketball. And you can have the proper logo, you can have the proper everything. You can have the proper ads. You can control the ads that you
That's crazy.
display in your game. People upload McDonald's ads and NCAA and car manufacturer, stuff
Yeah.
that you would stuff that you would really see during an actual game.
Mm-hmm.
And like EA is progressing. Like last year for NHL, their big thing that they added was roster sharing.
Yeah.
What that allowed you to do was you can create, your own roster. There's a guy that I know that made several different ones. For example, he made a 1997 one. He went back and made every single player from the 1997 roster, every single player. He tried to replicate the jerseys the best he could. He tried to replicate the arenas the best he could. And you can go and you can download that roster and you can play as that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that is like that for NHL. That was something that they had been, the NHL community had been calling for that for years.
Yeah.
Years. NBA community, they don't have to beg for anything.
No, because 2K just does it.
Yeah, like even the WWE games. I just got done playing 2K22.
Yep.
Like,
it's a good game.
The amount of stuff on there you can do. But yeah, it's just I'm having a blast playing Era's mode. Like, it is so cool. Like, I'm having, I like those types of games. Like I said, I have played, I know one of James's favorite games was The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
I've played that.
Now, I will say this. PlayStation has some incredible exclusive games. God of War, The Last of Us.
God of War is fantastic.
Like they've got some good ones. Now, on the other side, on the flip side, Xbox has some really good ones as well.
Yeah.
Forza's like, I don't know how if you like racing games, but Forza is a fantastic racing game.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the only one off the top of my head that I can think of right at this moment. Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I would say, like, as far as like PlayStation exclusives go, The Last of Us is up there. God of War is up there for sure. 100%. I love that game. Another one that I really enjoyed was Ghost of Tsushima.
That's another one. Yep.
Oh my god, that game was so good.
See, I would love to play that.
It is so good.
Like I like games like that, like the Assassin's Creed, the Far Cry series.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, off the top of your head, if you could pick one game right now to go play right now, what game? Go.
probably WWE just because I was playing that before we hopped on. So
Mine would be it's an older game that we're on currently on Far Cry 6, but mine would be Far Cry 4. That was the first Far Cry that got me into the series. I beat it, and I'm trying to go back and re-beat it on a higher difficulty. It's a fun one. It's a fun one.
I know God of War has a new one coming out.
I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, I love that game. The Last of Us 1, I really enjoyed. The second one, favorite. And Ghost of Tsushima was fantastic, and I had so much fun playing that one.
See, I've been playing multiplayer games lately, like Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I've been playing that with Mark and Ramsey.
Yeah.
That's a good one. If anybody's ever played Sea of Thieves, definitely give it a shot. It's a fun one. It's free if you have the Xbox Game Pass. Any other games that we need to talk about before we head into our draft, Jason?
Not really, no.
Okay. So
you want to explain how the draft is going to work real quick?
I will, yes. So I'm gonna hit us with a kick-ass segue into our draft, which our draft is going to be the best board games games. It's the whole theme of the episode. Best board games. I am going to give us a quick little segue, and then there's going to be 2 more people on the screen when you come back. Okay. We're running we're running a little short staff tonight. James is out doing adult things, as you saw. He showed up for a little bit. Mark's listening to a yo-yo play some cello. But yeah, so we'll segue in, and we're gonna draft some board games. And now into the draft. Hey, Aaron.
Pigeons have feelings.
What's up, George?
What's up? All right, so we're back.
Great start already.
Listen, no, I ended the last part. I went like this, and now I'm doing this. So, but yeah, so we're back.
Great for our audio listeners.
Yeah, we're back with the draft here. We're now joined by Mark and James and my brother-in-law, Aaron. Okay. All right, so now we're back with the draft. So we're drafting best board games. Just so everyone is aware, the parameters is not just a game that you play on a board. We're including like Cards Against Humanity, any kind of those games, but no poker, euchre, card games like that. Up and down the river, kings, whatever. All right. So I have the first pick because I
What
suck.
did he say that he can't say out loud?
Because
first pick.
It might be on my list. Okay. But my
Aaron, text it to
Aaron,
me.
can you actually do that box right there?
Aaron, text me both lists. I'm gonna take it.
So that one right there, yes. This is my first pick. All right.
Oh, that's a good game. Wouldn't have been my first pick, but it's a fun game.
Secret Hitler. Okay. It's a very good board game. Good party game. Incites a lot of fights.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
It's a good game. Oh, I gotta type it in the chat here. I apologize. It's been a while since we've done a draft, you know.
It has been a minute.
And listen, the only that wasn't my first overall pick, but I knew if I didn't take it, one of you two was gonna take it at some point.
I actually didn't think of that one, but
yeah.
This is the real first pick. That is Monopoly.
Damn it.
Yep.
That was my number one.
Yep. All right. Well, we can conclude this draft because Mark just actually, you know what? I don't know. A lot of people hate.
I don't know. A lot of people hate Monopoly.
There's some people that don't like that game. So
what about Shotopoly?
But that's how Bucket Boy got his name.
Yep.
Titty Peach.
Titty Peach.
I got some Titty Peach over there.
Yep. All right. Mr. Oh, we didn't say who won the last draft with his first ever draft victory since the creation of the Deep Impact podcast.
First person to not be a guest.
Mr. James
finally win. Yeah.
So James gets last pick. So anyhow,
with the third pick, I am proud to select Jenga.
That's the hill you die on.
Look, honestly, I'm not a big fan of board games, so I'm kind of grasping at straws here. So
All
right.
fair enough.
Giant Jenga or regular Jenga?
it really doesn't matter.
Always giant.
Honestly.
Always giant.
Yep.
All right. From number 4, I'm gonna pick the game Pandemic. It's a really fun one because I like it because you don't necessarily it's a cooperative game. So you can have 4 people and you're all working together and you all win or lose. It's not necessarily competition.
Okay.
My next game is a game that we had a ton of fun playing as kids. Was number 5 is Disney's Seen It.
That's a good one.
I've never played the actual just generic movie Seen It, but
Yeah.
Disney Seen It was always really, really fun.
I'm pretty sure I have Harry Potter Seen It up in my closet.
Gotcha. All right, next.
Number 6, Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. Oh wait, I was first. Okay, never mind.
On a game that I'm probably not going to get any points for, but I definitely love this game. James and I have probably played. Huh?
Is it the game that we played together but never finished?
Yeah, I was gonna say James and I have played this game about 200 times and literally never finished it once, and that is Risk.
Yep.
Yep.
That was on my list.
Yep. All right. Number 8. Mark and I recently just played this game a couple weeks ago. Clue.
That was the first time I ever played a game of Clue.
Really?
I love
Clue's really fun.
Clue's
It's
one of
really
my
fun
favorites.
playing it with smart people, like beyond kid level, because the strategies in order to get it and actually like win efficiently are really interesting.
All right. And with the number 9 pick, I'm taking a celeb shot. It's Aaron's favorite board game, and that is Life.
I just want to
Life.
point out,
Another really fun game. Again, if Clue or Life would have been on my list, I probably would have picked them over Seen It.
All right. With the 10th overall pick in this draft, I have solidified my victory with quite possibly the greatest cardboard game of all time, and that is Uno.
Cardboard game, everybody.
Cardboard.
I said cardboard game.
Nope. It's a game made out of cardboard.
Fair enough.
why you got to do me like that, man? Number 11, Connect 4.
Oh, that's a good one, Jason.
Yeah, I was going to pick Uno. That was literally going to be my next pick. So,
Okay, so can I not type this? Yeah, there we go. Number 12 is going to be Checkers. And because I'm not original and neither of us picked it, number 13 is going to be Chess.
that's
Those
fair.
are good. I had those
That's fair.
on my list as well.
I'm going to hope you guys don't pick my last one. If not, I got a backup.
Those are good, James.
I'm stuck between two. I'm going with one of them, and that is pick number 14, Trouble.
You're in trouble with that pick.
Probably, but
With the 15th pick, I'm going to pick the more kid-friendly but still fun version of Cards Against Humanity, and that is Apples to Apples.
I was gonna.
Alright.
Fucking damn it.
All right.
I had that one.
That was
too.
going to be my last one.
All right. So I get
Sorry,
these
James.
are my last two, right?
Yes.
All right. So with the number 16 pick, I am picking an oldie but a goodie. One that my mom and I used to play all the time. That is Scrabble.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. All right. And with my last pick in the draft, it's been a collaborative effort.
Peter.
My second favorite.
Is that how you spell it? I think this is how you spell it.
Yeah.
Yahtzee. Yep. Yahtzee.
Hey,
I feel confident. That was good. Good draft, buddy.
All right. With my last pick in the draft, it is okay. You can't hit that yet. I'm not ready. It is it's a game that's fun for everybody unless your name is Jason. If your name is Jason, you probably hate this game. That game is Categories.
God,
I kind of hate it too.
despise it.
Ever played Categories?
Absolutely despise it.
I do have a couple of honorable mentions if they don't get taken.
Oh man. All right. Pick number 19. I'm gonna go with Dictionary.
Okay. All right.
I was stuck between two and I couldn't pick one, so I just went with
I like
Yeah, me too.
Pictionary, but I like the Pictionary man that you draw on, like the little plastic dude.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Is that a board game?
Pictionary.
No. The game I'm thinking of. Oh, wait, talking James's pick.
No, Bo, Halo is not a board game.
All right, I'm changing my pick.
Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Horseradish is not an
instrument.
instrument either. Number 20, my last pick is one that's not going to win me, but just because I love the line "B5, you sunk my battleship," I'm going to pick Battleship.
Yeah, that was good.
Bad touch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, that was.
That was good.
I don't like playing Battleship with James because unless you're extremely lucky, James always wins. And it's not like he uses some crazy, like, in-depth strategy.
It is.
I've done it before.
I was going to say it's not in-depth strategy. It's literally just it's the guaranteed way to win and not waste
Stack
your
them all on
mistakes.
top of each other.
Yeah, that one. Just fire the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Battleship was gonna be one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, my other one was Stratego. I like that game a lot more than Battleship, but everybody hates Stratego.
I love Stratego.
I've never played it.
We need to play Stratego this week.
Yeah, no, I've never played it. Battleship was gonna be my other one, and then Trivial
Also,
Pursuit. Trivial Pursuit was gonna be my other honorable mention.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
We played
I love
Trivial
games.
Pursuit on the Xbox a couple weeks ago. Me, Mark, Amanda, and Maddie.
That's awesome. Where were we? Where we played the Trivial Pursuit that was the one in the 70s. Who was I with? I was with either Mark or Bo.
That was my dad's. I still have it.
Was it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah, that was cool, but nobody knew any of the questions. Yeah, Cranium's also a fun honorable mention because I don't like the artsy and acting style stuff, but I do like the fact that like stuff like that is written as an adult game, like a more advanced game, so I like the concept of it.
You remember Mousetrap?
Yeah, I still have it somewhere.
Really?
We used to have it at my house.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, Mousetrap was
Yeah, I never played the actual game. I just set the thing up and just let it go.
It's the green hand that you.
Yeah.
I have
Oh. Another honorable mention here. Operation.
It's an okay game.
Yeah.
Cool concept.
I had Guess Who as well.
Oh, guess
Dang
who-
it!
I
You know what I should have picked? I should have picked
that one.
I should have picked Pretty Princess. That would have won me. That would have won me a second crown. If I was home, I 100% would have gotten like Sally's crown if I'd have thought of that and used that as my crown and made that my first pick.
Mark, you got any honorable mentions, buddy?
I have a game that I have here called Crappy Birthday. It's pretty fun. It's kind of like the What Do You Meme, which is also a good game. Anyway, those two games are my two honorable mentions. My other one would have been Stratego. James did say that one. I'm sure there's some really good board games that I've played that I'm missing.
Yeah, I have a bunch of
those are definitely the ones that I'm thinking of.
I'm not able to think of right now. I just played a new game a couple months ago called Seven Wonders. Has anybody ever played that?
No, it sounds good.
It's kind of cool. It's not what you'd think of. Like it reminds me, like at first it kind of reminded me of like Civilization, but it's not. It's just a quick paced game. It's kind of cool.
I like, though it's just chess. I really enjoy the chess games that are like specialty pieces. So like I've got
yours is really cool.
Yeah, I've got the last presidential election. I've got that one.
Oh, I do too.
Mhm.
I got it up in my closet right there. Aaron just brought up one that we played up at his house. It was called, was it Tick Tick Boom, I think? And it was like a word game where you had like a bomb and then there was a card in it and it had like three letters and you had to create words that had those three letters like in a row in that word.
Yeah.
Tick Tock Boom. That was a good one. We played that. Has anybody else got any more honorable mentions before we?
I would like to try Catan at some point in my
Bird
life.
Catan's good. There are a couple
surprised
here
none of us
that
said that.
on this list that I saw that are really cool too. Again, Catan's a big one. Have you guys ever played Ticket to Ride? Ticket to Ride's okay. It's kind of fun. Gloomhaven, I've heard is a really dark game, but really fun. I just haven't had the money to buy it. Betrayal at House on a Hill. There was one that I was looking at specifically.
You know, one that none of us said, which I mean, only slightly surprises me because it's such a popular game.
Dungeons and Dragons.
The Candyland.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
Shoots and ladders.
Mhm.
Eels and escalators.
Oh,
There's another SpongeBob one.
damn. All right, so that's going to conclude the draft and the honorable mentions for this week. But next week, ladies and gentlemen,
Boys and
here the Titty Peach train rides again.
Titty Peach 2.
Titty Peach round
You ever drank Crown Royal out of a urinal with a bunch of people that you've never drank with before?
2. Well, you're
Good
about to.
experience.
Well, you're about to.
But yes, we will all be getting together again.
It'll most likely be just on the YouTube side of things, like the last one was. That one wasn't. That was just uploaded to YouTube. So keep an eye.
Oh, that
out.
one was never an audio.
No.
No.
I thought it was. I thought I had it. I thought I listened to it
James,
on
we
Apple.
recorded for almost 3 hours, dude.
Yeah, I know. It was fun.
We entered Joe Rogan territory that night.
It was so much fucking fun.
It was.
Well,
and we get to
wow.
do it all again.
But yeah, so everyone be prepared. Boys, we got to
Plan accordingly.
So and speaking of the YouTube page, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on YouTube. And when you get on YouTube, what are you gonna do?
You gotta hit that bell. Ding.
Thank you. So
Also
you
hit
get the
like.
notifications. What'd you say?
Hit the like button.
Yes.
Oh,
I
is
need to
this
do that.
amateur hour?
I need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I don't know why I don't. I just never
Okay,
looked for it.
so for the people that enjoy watching the YouTube videos, hit the thumbs up button, like it, because that helps the most with growing and
That even helps more than subscribing.
Yes, yes.
Interesting. Good
Yes.
to know.
So make sure you hit the like on the YouTube video. That helps it grow so much more than you would know. So
But yeah, so we're gonna sign off for the rest of the night. I'm going to go play virtual football. I don't know what you guys
That's
are
I'm
gonna
gonna
do.
take shit
play
on
that
an
tomorrow.
Oculus.
Listen. This is probably the first episode in I can't tell you how long. Shut up, Siri. That I do not have to take a shit right after we're done recording.
wow.
All right. So
Eddie's going to leave us to do something else. I love you.
ah!